Greetings, one and all. My name is Lancer, and welcome to the finale of Orb on the Movements of the Earth. Crazy, man. Didn't feel like that long ago when we started. I mean, it really wasn't. It was like a little over a week ago when I actually started the show. And, well, last time on, Rafal is alive after all this time. Either this is multiverse or he did in fact survive being poisoned and then burned at the stake. Either way, he is a tutor to Albert and he's brought him to this conference of people who are similar minded as him, and maybe this will fill in some gaps of some stuff. I have no idea. I did not think I would end this show as confused as I am, but at the same time I'm interested and excited to see how we wrap out a show with such interesting topics. So for one last time for Orb, let's get right into the episode. Is he the leader? Shinzo Sasageyo. Oh, you are being conscripted.
この少年の中には手だれの論理学者が入っているかのようだ。それより注視すべきはその好奇心の強さだ。学術の未来においてこれこそが何より重要な才能だ。
Well, we know that Albert now is not a fan of the academia. He said just like I have no interest in university.
もしかしたら今後真理は発見されるものではなく作られるもの。過去の書物や遺国を見るとそれぞれに違う歴史や文化、信仰がある。今はまだ情報が少ないけど、この先さらに自分たち以外とつながれば相対的であるとみなされていくだろう。そうなれば人の心から絶対不変の真理という理念に対する畏怖や崇拝が薄れていく。すべての研究活動は専門化して知の相対に触れたいという崇高な欲望、好奇心は馬鹿げた不要なものとして抱きされるかもしれない。なんというか僕は寂しいよ。だから僕は信じてる。ここにいる君らを、その好奇心を、君らと新しく入った少年の好奇心に。
Cheers to belief. Last time with this slapper of an opening, man. Now I can see these visuals. If he somehow ends up with that goddamn orb, even though it burned, I'm so confused. Make it make sense before we end, please.
ちょっと僕は用があるから席を外すけど、君は楽しんでくれ。あっちのテーブルで宇宙論の話が聞けると思う。君の興味に合うはずだよ。
I'm waiting to see someone that we for sure can recognize.
プトレマイオスモデルの等速運動。
いえ、すいません。今日の観測記録すっかりつけ忘れてた。今から一度帰って戻ったらさすがに会は終わっちゃってるだろうな。一日くらい記録つけなくても問題ないか。
How is that gonna lead to your father's death?
ちょっと帰ります。
What is he gonna find back home?
ただいま。
Prof. This has to be multiverse. What the fuck is happening?
全く面倒なことになったな。君の気持ちはわかる。
You sound like Noak.
まずは冷静になってほしい。理性的に対応すればこの状況も飲み込めるはずだ。最初に言いたいのは、こんなことになったのは僕の本意じゃないってこと。
What the f...
僕は穏便に済ませたかった。
What are you?
実は少し前に噂で聞いたんだ。君のお父さんがある資料を持っていると。それは宇宙の形を根本から変えてしまう画期的な説に関するものだ。ずっと昔からその説に興味があってね。ただどこにも手がかりがなくて諦めてたんだが、情報を共有して研究しようと提案した。悪い提案じゃなかったはずだよ。正直言ってあの説は君のお父さんの手には余る代物だ。社会的
Heliocentrism?
宝の持ち腐れに終わる。彼は僕の誘いを断った。迷いもせず。この説は現状の宇宙論と異なるもので弾圧される可能性もある。危ないことはしたくない。だってさ、粘り強く説得してたら彼は怒り始め、最後には資料を燃やすと言って、なんというかこれには
So he
言葉を
killed
失
him?
ったよ。知だの学びだの言っておいて、所詮保身に走る俗物だったわけだ。
This seems out of character.
まあとにかく取り乱して 今にも何かしでかしそうだった。君のお父さんは地を共有しないで独占してた。そういう考えは排除すべきだ。いいかい？この状況で大切なのは君のお父さんが受け継いだ地は失われずに済んだってことさ。この世の美しさのためなら犠牲はやむを得ない。さあ、これで納得したろ？
Weirdly enough, I don't actually know if that is out of character, if Raphael ever lived to be an adult. Raphael could have been like a young Erwin where it just like gets to the point of just like, I'll do whatever it takes. Sacrifice what is necessary to get this dream, but leave it to this show maybe to not even give a concrete answer on anything.
村の人たちに捕らえられました。その後は知らない。
And then was executed again.
父は言った。疑えと。彼は誰も信頼せず、資料を共有しないで殺された。先生は言った。信じろと。結果、
Doubt
彼は
and belief.
これが地に関わった者の末路です。学問だの真理だのは人間には荷が重い。だから大学なんて全く馬鹿らしい。
Knowledge is a death. I mean, that is some conflicting ideas to give to a child, especially at that age. Doubt or belief. I mean, you can have a healthy balance of both. You can have your beliefs, but have doubts in them enough to question them and look further. Leave room for speculation.
疑念と信念二つ持っていて不都合が
Yeah.
聖アクイナスは知性を一方では物体的で他方では非物体的と捉えました。理性と信仰、哲学と神学、疑うことと信じること、これらの矛盾は両立します。なぜかそれが人間だからです。
All comes
人
back
間
to being
は神でも
human.
獣でもない。でもだからこそ矛盾を曖昧を混乱を受け入れられる。
There's still confession booths to this day, right? But do you think now, like, priests are in their other side, like, on their phone, just like, yeah. Oh, man, that sucks, you know. Pulling up AI responses.
あなたは今神を失っている。つまりこの世界が存在するという奇跡を感じられないでいる。必然に満ちた領域で生まれる偶然のことです。と同時に昔のあなたはそれらを感じていた。この世のすべてが奇跡的だと知っていた。経験や記憶、過去や故郷、そして痛みと引き換えに奇跡まで失ってしまった。あなたが生きる場所だったのにどうすればいいかわかりますか？
知りませんよ。
単純です。空を見ればいいのです。
これはそんな簡単な問題じゃないです。
もちろん乗り越えられないわけじゃない。
I might be overthinking it, but I don't know. I just saw the blonde hair. I'm like,
耐えられるように試練とともに脱出の道も備えてくださいます。あなたが勇気を出してくださったので、私も人には言えない悩みを告白します。
yeah, secret for a secret.
私が昔友人を見殺しにしたことです。友人がある仕事で重大な違反を犯してしまったんです。その結果彼は死んだ。彼の罪が重いからこそ彼を諭し救うことが重要だった。あの時どうするのが正解だったのか答えは出ていません。今後も出るか分かりません。
Who are you?
しかし一つだけはっきりしてるのはあの過去から目をそらしてきたことです。この悩みを言葉にできた。そのせいで今日からより一層苛まれるでしょう。しかし同時に今日が一歩目になったと信じます。あなたは私に話してくれた。神は私たちを認めてくださる。いつでも私たちの居場所になってくださる。
Answer. Who the
しか
fuck
し
are
その
you?
ためには私たち自身を乗り越え神に向き合わなければならない。孤独に問い続けなければならない。自分は神に認めてもらえる存在なのだろうか。
いくら悩んで問うても神は口を開かない。
だから永遠に私たちは考え続けられるのです。私はそれを幸福だと思いたい。最後に一つ質問です。
Who am I?
効果を捧げればパンを得られる。
Oh my god, it is.
権利を得られる。
This is the question. This is what we
労
started
働を
with.
捧げれば何を捧げればこの世のすべてを知れる。その答えを探してください。 効果を捧げればパンを得られる。税を捧げれば権利を得られる。
The voice does sound similar. Or, well, I guess we never did know who narrated that at the start.
この世で再び生きるために。
Go and search.
そこで大学へ行くのは一つの道だと思いますよ。
going.
この世の美しさのためなら犠牲はやむを得ない。僕は何があろうと君の好奇心を否定しない。
I see no centaur with a bow.
先生、この世の美しさを追求したい。そのために何か犠牲になっても構わない。
Murderer of my father, I believe in you.
だけどあなたのやり方では美しさに到達できなかった。この世の全てを知るために何を捧げればいいかなんてわからない。隠そうとする父さんも排除しようとする先生も有効じゃなかったことだけは確かだ。僕らは足りない。だから補い合える。そうじゃなきゃこの世界には挑めない。先生、僕もタウマ善意を感じます。それを肯定し続けます。あなたとは違
Keep moving
った
forward.
やり方で疑いながら進んで信じながら戻って美しさにきらめきに迫り詰めてみせます。
おお、戻ったか。ずいぶん遅かったな。
親方、大学へ行かせてください。
Learn the truth. Welcome to uni life.
アルベルト・ブルゼフスキ。
僕の地元の名です。サインの際にはそれを。
Okay. I was like, is that a name we know?
じゃあ明日から好きな授業受けて。
I wish uni was like that. All right, sign this paper. All right, do whatever you want. That would be so nice. That should be what school is. You go to learn what you want to learn. Not all this, oh, you gotta do credits and all this stuff. It's just like, oh, you gotta take these courses to apply for this course. Like, just let me learn what I want to learn. God damn it. Good morning, world.
とつきさん宛てに。
ポトツキ？いや、そんな名前の人全然知らないよ。もしかしたら前ここに住んでた人とかかな。だってこんなの身に覚えないよ。
Previous occupant from like 30 plus years
他
ago.
の著作物が出版された際、利益の1割を贈与します。この本ってやつの題名もなんだ？地球の運動についてって。
Why would you know that name?
書き違いかな。運動するのは天球だし。
出版されるって本が同封されてるわけでもないし。いや、金が入るなら。
This random guy just gets the money. That'd be
地
funny.
球の運動について。
This fucking.
1461
Ugh,
年
okay.
23歳でクラクフ大学に入学。後に同大学で20年にわたり教員として働
Oh,
く。
wow.
その際、従来の天動説一般に対して疑念を示すような講義を行ったが、結論は保留した。当時の天文学の教科書、惑星の新理論への注釈書を書き、同書は大学で広く学び続けられた。1491年、彼の注釈書で天文を学んだ同大学の生徒の一人に、コペルニクスという名の青年がいた。
I know I wasn't gaslighting myself with my knowledge. It all comes to Copernicus. And finally it was proved. After all this death. Fuck, why is the ending playing? I'm hesitant with that clap, but that was Orb on the movements of the earth. I knew it from the start, man. I remembered my studies in astronomy. Brief little time I did study it. Nicholas Copernicus, I'm pretty sure that's a thing. As soon as it started talking about just like, oh, he started rolling and he wrote this book, I was just like, one of his students is gonna be Copernicus. I thought it was just gonna end with just like, oh, on the movements of the earth, prophets or whatever. It's like, huh, that's weird. I thought it was gonna be, and it was gonna end with him being like, oh, that's dumb. The heavens move around us. And it's just like, well, that is a weird way to end it. But then it just did that at the end. I'm doing some research search right now. Someone trying to explain what the fuck happened. Like, some of the consensus is that it's very coincidentally the same character, coincidentally the same voice, same look, same name. I mean, it still confused me there at the end. Like, it showed him on the cross again. It's just like, how the hell would he have survived that? Both poisoning himself and then his body being burned. There's no way someone wouldn't have been watching him. I mean, it's also just weird that it would have resulted in him killing somebody like that, but that's such a bizarre choice to have that be the end. But I guess it kind of ties it all together. That just seems like a surefire way to confuse the fuck out of your audience at the end, which it did with me, almost to the point where I'm just like, why? But sure, we'll just go with the thing that it's just someone coincidentally with the same name, look, voice, ideologies, interests as the kid at the start. And that priest here at the end was the one who was giving the monologue at the beginning of the show. Ignoring all of that for a moment and talking about the show as a whole, goddamn, that was some quality anime. More so that, like, this is one of the shows that transcends the boundary that is anime. I've been thinking about it for a while. It scratched the itch that Vinland Saga has left behind, just in the sense that, like, it's a depiction of real life events, obviously to an extent, and it just hits so hard on just these themes and ideas and just does it in such beautiful ways. Definitely going forward, knowing people who like Vinland Saga, I'd be like, yeah, definitely check this out, or even like Attack on Titan, stuff like that. This has definitely been one of the most thought-provoking anime I've watched in a long time. It hits more on me as well, just on how naive of a person I can be sometimes, also just how little of life I've experienced. I mean, I've tried to put some of my own experiences and stories into this, and just obviously, like, it's hit a lot on certain topics that I have experience with, that being, you know, religion and science and a lot of that stuff. I will say though, it was a bit of a stretch. Like, I mean, just here at the end, like that finally being the connecting tissue. He just so happened to walk down that street and hear that man talking about that, and that provoked his thought to then make that book, which then inspired Copernicus, which then made heliocentrism finally a widely accepted idea. 1491 as well, same year that America was discovered. Or, well, 92, but, you know, same time. Definitely, though there's arcs of this story and it's like the different characters we follow, definitely Oxybodeni and also the start of Yolenta's story was easily the best part of this. You know, the 3 episodes at the start of Raffle obviously were just like, you know, getting us properly introduced, and I did enjoy Raffle at the start. It just got us introduced to this idea, just like, yeah, your main characters are gonna die for what they believe in, and well, I messed with it and I liked it. I can't say I really enjoyed Draka's story all that much. Like, I enjoyed Schmidt, definitely. I wish we got a little more with him. His death was unceremonious, but everyone in this story really got an unceremonious death, but because Draka's thing ultimately amounted to just mailing this thing out. She got so close to getting that book published, but then, you know, no walk. It's funny that, like, this small little bookend of a story with Albert ultimately ended up being the biggest contributor to heliocentrism. Some guy who wasn't really associated with it at all. Again, how much of it is real or, you know, just like taking liberties, I mean, who knows? Again, I'm gonna have fun, like, really doing research on this story, and, like, I would love to know what the author's inspiration was for it. Obviously, you can let me know down in the comments below. Obviously, as I'm recording this, none of the episodes have started coming out yet, because in classic fashion, I mass record the fuck out of these and just release them periodically, but I'm gonna love to see what people's reception is to this series, because definitely this is a diverse topic of a show. Religion, and I have given definitely some interesting takes on stuff, which I'm sure we have a good community here, people who are open to discussion, so hopefully there's not people that are just gonna write me off as just an idiot. Though I am. I like to think that I'm at least sound in my ideologies and beliefs. This has been a fascinating show to watch after everything that we've watched up till now. You know, Freyren, ReZero, Mushoku Tensei, Attack on Titan, Higurashi, Darling in the Franxx, Hunter x Hunter. All of those shows have built upon just the beauty of humanity and just the beauty of life and the meaning of as well, and just challenging those ideas. Even before I watched all of those shows, you know, Vinland Saga, I watched that too. Honestly, I think Vinland Saga and Orb are good shows to watch back to back. Either way. Just because, I mean, Vinland Saga really is about challenging the human spirit and just will. You know, I have no enemies and no one deserves to be hurt and just human survival, whereas this is what our purpose is as humans, being here on this earth, this globe. This is also going to be a fascinating show to rewatch. I mean, it just kind of makes you look at concepts that we have today and just stuff we kind of take for granted, but certain names that forever will be lost to history. I mean, this shows here, it's just what was the true story of heliocentrism in our world, you know. Of course, you know, the names Rafal, Badeni, Oxy, Yolenta, Draka, Schmidt, Nowak, they'll never be remembered. They'll never be known. But yet their sacrifice wasn't for nothing. It found a way. This show hit me on so many specific emotional chords. I think the most emotional I got was Badeni and Oxy's deaths. Like, that was the one that got me, like, on the verge of tears. And even, like, Yolenta's death as well. Nowak's death got me too, but it was more just like, that's exactly where I thought his character would end. What an idea for a show, you know? Just definitely risky as well, because I mean, obviously, I'm sure there's people who are gonna watch this, you know, people who are very religious, who would just see that and just like, nah. They just kind of write it off or don't even finish it. A lot of it is true. This kind of stuff did happen in real life. As much as Christians and Catholics would like to forget that the Crusades were a thing, it happened on a much larger scale. I'm definitely gonna check out the English dub of this if it exists. I mean, the Japanese voices for this were so good. Like, some of the best voices, you know. I didn't really talk about it, but I'm pretty sure Badeni was Gojo's voice actor. Nowak's voice, you know, being that classy, sexy anime voice that I've heard in a lot. It was good stuff all around. Though, visually, the animation was here and there on a lot of stuff, and even the artwork was kind of at times. There were some visuals in this that were fucking stunning, like just the sky shots of stuff, the stars, which I mean, it being about space and the orb we live on, you know, it had to be. It was great. Pretty early on, I stopped giving a shit about that, just like the visual side of it, because it was just so masterful. The music as well. It wasn't a lot of like in your face like triumphant scores, but it was just subtle. Like that piano track is one I'm gonna listen to immediately now. It's so good, and a lot of the other tracks as well. Emotional. This show was effective in what it was trying to get across. I definitely think more people should watch this. It's not the most action-packed thing, but like the drama in it, the characters, I mean, to be fair, the action that was in it, a lot of it I could have gone without. It was very Vinland Saga in that way, where it's like, you know, there is action, and when there is action, it's pretty good, but the action is kind of just like a transition, if anything. It's like it's getting characters from one point to another. This show may not ever win any awards, get really the recognition it deserves, but in that way, it's kind of fitting, because that is kind of the point, you know, like Yolenta and all I'm talking about, just we're doing this for history, but at the same time, we will never be remembered in that history. I'm so glad I gave this show a chance, because definitely early on, I will say it was kind of a slow burn for a bit. Really, I could see the moment. It's when Badeni was introduced into the story. I was hooked from that moment. I mean, I was hooked from the beginning just from the concept, but once I really got my feet planted on solid ground and once we really were going with it, I was like, yeah, I'm in it for the long haul. And really, at a certain point, like, it just started going and we just were picking up the pace. That really was kind of my gripe with Draka's story, was that I almost feel like too much was happening too quickly. Her story was not super long, all things considered. I mean, from about episode 16 to 23, it wasn't that long of a story, but it was over fairly quickly. But altogether, though, I did enjoy the collective package that was this story and just the connections over the course of it all. I could honestly endlessly kind of talk about this story and just the themes of it and just what it kind of impacted me with, and how I'm not gonna forget this story for a while. It's a fucking masterpiece. It might not be the most visually extravagant thing I've ever seen or even reacted to on this channel. Definitely in terms of its themes, it's up there, man. I definitely hold it up there with Attack on Titan, Vinland Saga, Freyrin, even Hunter x Hunter to an extent, just with the ideas it hit me with. It's just left me stunned and kind of shell-shocked, and I'll definitely never forget it for that. Definitely let me know down in the comments below what you've taken away from this story, if you've completed it, how it made you feel. And well, this series comes to an end. Again, much faster than I would have thought, but that's kind of where I'm at now in the in-between from doing Hunter x Hunter to whatever the next longer series I'm gonna do. It's like we're doing kind of shorter ones, but it's the ones I do kind of enjoy more than the longer ones. Just like these shorter stories that get more to the point and you understand it. Doesn't really waste your time. And while every time I look to the stars now, I'm definitely gonna have a different view on them. In fact, I have much more of a view on astronomy as a whole and all of it, heliocentrism, for that is our history. But either way, this was my reaction series to Orb on the movements of the Earth. What a fun time. Well, I can't necessarily say it was a fun time, but I did enjoy it. You know, the themes, all of it, it was great. And well, you can watch the whole series now in the full playlist, and I hope you'll join me for many other videos of the story, but the future anime reactions, reviews, gameplay, and everything else that'll be coming out soon. So thank you all for joining me on this. I'm Lancer. Thanks for watching.